Welcome, wrestling fans, and welcome to the first episode of World Wrestling Perspective. Today I have two very special guests. I have Big Poppa joining me along with Lavish Larry. Guys, if you want to go ahead and put in your little input.
Happy to be here, man. Can't wait to talk about this Royal Rumble that, to me, was great because we got a new World Heavyweight Champion in Triple H. Love it. And, Raw was even better because we just got to see Triple H be champion, come out, and really show the WWE what it's like to be a real champion.
Right, Big Poppa, your thoughts?
Triple H again. Wow.
Well, without further ado, let's get to it. So, in the very first match of the Royal Rumble, we had Dean Ambrose taking on Kevin Owens in a last man standing match, in which Dean Ambrose ended up picking up the victory and retaining his Intercontinental Championship. Now, Lavish, what are your thoughts on this exactly,
First of all, I don't like Dean Ambrose. I think Dean Ambrose, got his way when it came to Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens is a much better champion than Dean Ambrose. I think Kevin Owens, got screwed out of this fight. Who does a one-man or last man standing fight? That's all Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose is a thug fighter. He likes these type of fights. He likes to go out there and use chairs and tables and all this stuff. And Kevin Owens isn't that type of fighter. Kevin Owens is a legit wrestler. He knows the art of wrestling, and it just totally played for Dean Ambrose. I wasn't for it. I think Kevin Owens in a regular wrestling match beats Dean Ambrose, and we have a new Intercontinental Champion, which we need. Dean Ambrose is not the Intercontinental Champion that we need in the WWE.
But the match was a last man standing match. It was presented in a sense of these guys have gone at it one-on-one actually in the past, each holding a victory against each other, and then they went up against each other in a street fight at TLC, and now they're here. But last man standing just added a whole new perspective to everything because now we got to see what these guys could do with a different type of element. However, I think they both delivered. There is no rules in a last man standing match after all, and it just really, I'm not taking anything away from these guys. These guys went all out, but at the end of the day, Dean Ambrose didn't technically do anything bad, in order to win the Intercontinental Championship. He ended up taking it and utilizing every single thing in that
Adamant,
ring.
have you ever been in a street fight, Adamant? You don't know what you're talking about. Adamant, in a street fight, you can use weapons, you can use stuff, and a real fighter is not going to fight in a street fight. That was all for Dean Ambrose, Adamant. It wasn't for Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is a legit wrestler, and he needs to be fighting legit wrestlers in a legit ring. We're not in the thug life. We're not in these, backyard brawls. That was all for Dean Ambrose, and we needed a professional wrestling match.
But wouldn't you say Kevin Owens is a fighting champion?
He is a fighting champion, but when it's right. Whenever he's in a ring and it's a regular wrestling match. We don't need these backyard brawls.
But Kevin Owens nor Dean Ambrose do they call the shots. They basically, have to take orders from everybody, and a fighting champion can wrestle any type of match. Even when
Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens needs a ring, and he is a true champion. I don't know what he was doing fighting a backyard brawl, but that's all for Dean Ambrose.
I don't agree 100%. But Big Poppa, what's your take on this?
I mean, was I seeing wrong, or was I don't know, planet or something when KO from the top rope, was it power drive though? And
Death Valley Driver.
And whatever. And nothing happened? I mean, isn't that like the sting of death? Shouldn't that be like getting bitten by a cobra or something where, who gets thrown, who gets taken from up there all the way down, smashed into the ground, and he still comes back? I mean, that totally took away from, the whole move. I mean, it was a beautiful thing to watch. But then to not terminate the guy, I don't get that. That's confusing to me. So that took away a lot. I mean, I enjoyed their activity, their athleticism, and the way they move and the way they rock and roll and everything. And it's exciting. But when you deliver a move of that magnitude and the guy still gets back up, to me it's just kind of like, come on, really? So I would have loved that. Whichever one would have done it to each other would have been great. But the fact that KO did it to Ambrose should have never gotten back up. It should have been over.
Gotcha. Well, we appreciate your thoughts on that, guys. And I actually wanted to talk about, the Usos going against the New Day. Now, New Day going in for the tag team titles, in which they successfully defended their championships. But I didn't agree with the whole idea of just always having Xavier Woods playing a key role where he's kind of distracting the referee.
Xavier Woods does not play a key role. Xavier Woods is just out there for support. Adamant, again, have you ever been part of a championship team? When you're part of a championship team, you help each other out, Adamant. He's out there with the trombone Francesca number 2, if I remember correctly, and he's out there just giving them support. He's out there making sure that they do the right thing. He's out there, cheering them on, which is what every championship team needs. They are champions, Adamant. I don't think you know the definition of being a champion and what a championship team is like.
A champion doesn't do things with honor and grace. They always have to, find a way, loopholes, whatnot, within the ring in order to win.
Champions are smart, Adamant. Champions are smart. They're always going to find a way to win. That's what a champion is.
Well, I don't really agree with outside interference. On top of that, I don't agree with, even Big E and Kofi Kingston always having to distract the referee in order to gain
They're not
whatever they
distracting
can.
the referee, Adamant. All they're doing is just pretty much they're making sure that the fight and the wrestling match is called the right way. That's all they're doing. They're helping the referee out, and that's what champions do. They make sure that the referee does his job right. They actually make the referee look good. That's what a champion does. They make others around them look good, Adamant. You should try that every once in a while. Be around champions, Adamant, and you'll understand why the New Day is so successful at what they do.
I mean, with the Usos, they have been tag team champions before, and they didn't even have to do any of the things that Xavier Woods and the rest of the New Day does. They've done a lot of things where they just relied on skill alone. They played it by the book, and they ended up successfully defending their tag titles.
Are they champions now, Adamant? Are they champions now? See, they're not champions, so obviously they didn't do everything right. The New Day are champions, and that's why, because they do everything right. They support each other, they help one another. When Francesca number 2 coming into the mix, there's nothing but greatness coming from the New Day.
Big Poppa, what's your take on, being a champion when it comes down to the wrestling ring?
Well, I mean, Francesca's proven to be a champion. I think there's no doubt about that. I mean, ever since it became part of the organization, it's brought a lot of good luck. It's made things happen. It's made them champions.
See, Adamant?
It's made of gold. And as far as the guys breaking the rules and all, well, are they really breaking the rules? I think they're staying within the parameters. Now, do they stretch them like a rubber band? Perhaps, but
they don't break them.
They don't. They it's like they're like palm trees. They bend, but they don't break them. So if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Sometimes you got to do what it takes to be a winner.
All right. Well, all right, guys. You got me there on that one. I still have my firm belief on exactly,
And that is why you are not champion, Adamant. That is why you are not a champion. When you realize that Big Poppa and myself are champions, and you come over here to the winning side, you will realize what a real champion is. But it's okay. We're going to let you.
I mean, he's a young pup. What does he know about class? What does he know about style? What does he know about elegance? I mean, I'm sure he's never been he's never heard the instrument played and the true beauty of the sound come out.
2.
You have to be in really high places you have to be cultured, if you will, to understand the sound that comes out of instruments and just the whole melody, the rhythm, there's just a lot to it. Just this is we're not talking about music appreciation here, but anyways, someday you'll understand when
you will get there, Adam.
You'll get there eventually. Sooner or later, you'll get there.
You will join the dark side.
I believe. I have a little faith in you. So yeah, give yourself some time.
All right. Well, there was another match that interested me, and that was the United States Championship match where we had Kalisto taking Alberto Del Rio for the 3rd time over at a pay-per-view event. And they've had 2 classic bouts walking into it where the title had changed hands back and forth. And once again, the same thing happened when this match kicked in, where Kalisto picked up his 2nd United States Championship. Now, Lavish, what are your thoughts exactly on how everything went down?
What kind of name is that for a wrestler? Ballistic? What does that mean? Ballistic? What was it?
Kalisto.
Oh, wow. What does that mean? What's a Kalisto?
You got me on that one. I thought it was just a complete injustice.
It sounds small, tiny, insignificant.
Who is Kalisto?
Is this wrestler even? Was he a small guy? Really small guy?
He looks like a small guy.
Is he like 3'6" or something?
My question is, how does this Kalisto come out and beat such a great fighter like Alberto Del Rio?
A specimen.
Did you not see? Have you not seen that specimen, Adam? Have you not seen him when he comes out? And he just looks like a Greek god.
Is he a bodybuilder? Is he an NFL player? I mean, and then to get destroyed by a...
What is his name? Kalisto, a disco, whatever?
Toledo, whatever.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, Kalisto showed that he had a lot of heart, and he has a different type of style when it comes down to wrestling Del Rio, because Del Rio, he is a great wrestler when it comes down to brawling, when it comes down to submission, grapple holds. He has a technical wrestling background, but Kalisto, he has lucha on his side, and on top of that, he just showed that size does not matter, and he has become
Adamant. Size always matters, Adamant. What are you talking about, Adamant? Size matters. Kalisto just got lucky. All right, I think the referee was actually looking somewhere else, and I think I saw a low blow or something on Alberto Del Rio. There had to be some foul play in there, because there's no way a specimen like Del Rio loses to a Kalisto.
Well, Kalisto, he has speed, and then Del Rio has power. I think at the end of the day, it was just too much for Del Rio to handle, in which Kalisto was just moving all around the ring and just keeping his opponent guessing.
I wish that guy, who has a title?
Kalisto.
I wish Kaliko would just turn the belt in, and just walk away. Go away.
I've been saying the same thing. I've been saying this. Why?
Just go away.
How can this guy be carrying a United States title when you have like a Greek god in Alberto Del Rio? It just looks a lot better on him.
Well, we've had Rey Mysterio become world champion before, and once again, he proved that small wrestlers can make it big when it comes down to the wrestling ring. And Kalisto just once again has proven that.
Okay, we've already seen Rey Mysterio, but Rey Mysterio's in the past, Adamant. He's the past. We don't need a repeat of Rey Mysterio. What do you think about that, Big Poppa?
Yeah, I'm still stunned that this little guy has a title.
Do you see that? Do you see the effect that you're having on Big Poppa? He's stunned.
It's an injustice. It's just I can't even smoke my cigar. I can't have my drink.
Do you see what you're doing, Adamant? You're disturbing. You have Big Poppa here.
You disturbed the peace here.
Oh my God! See, just because you're going for Kalisto. What's wrong with you, Adamant?
Well, Kalisto I think he's a great wrestler, and I think Alberto's a great wrester too. I'm not taking away anything from him, but at the end of the day, when that match was done, Kalisto ended up being 3 seconds
You know what, my little friend? Why don't you go to the next big event? What's the next big event?
Next big event's Fastlane.
Okay, Fastlane, or go to the Royal Rumble, or what's the next one? WrestleMania, and be the only person in line to get his autograph. How's that?
Good.
Why don't you just go get a hotel room right now and go get some signatures or whatever?
Well, he probably won't be able to, because Kalisto won't be around that long. I guarantee you, Alberto Del Rio will take his title back, and we'll never hear about Kalisto again.
Well, that time will have to tell on that one, guys. But another big championship match that came along was Becky Lynch versus Charlotte, in which Charlotte ended up retaining the Divas Championship. And I just think that with Ric Flair at Charlotte's side, it helped Charlotte out in a sense of where Ric Flair was just distracting Becky from taking the win on the match.
I'm going to tell you one thing, and I'm very upset at this match, but not at Charlotte or Ric Flair. I'm upset because Becky Lynch couldn't keep her hands to herself, and she has to go and kiss Ric Flair. This is a wrestling match, all right? This is a wrestling match, and Becky Lynch goes over there and kisses the Nature Boy. Can't you just wait on that? I know he's a legend, but what are you doing when you're supposed to be wrestling Charlotte and you're over here kissing the Nature Boy? Yeah. Unacceptable.
The Nature Boy went out and reached for Becky's face, and he planted his lips on her. There was no way.
What fight were you watching at, man? You could see her. You could see her going over there.
Did she slap him?
No.
Did she scratch his face?
No.
So she wanted it.
Of course she wanted it. It's the Nature Boy, Of course she wanted it. And then she has the audacity to blame Charlotte and say that Ric Flair threw, his coat over there, and now she lost. Becky Lynch has always been jealous of Charlotte. We all know that. Supposedly they were best friends. Well, if you're a best friend, you're supposed to support your best friend. Why are you going up against your best friend? And don't tell me.
And apparently she's probably been dreaming about the day she could get close enough to kiss him.
Yeah, of course. And don't tell me that, oh no, I'm a competitor and I want to be champion. You don't backstab your best friend in the back, especially when she's champion, to try to be the champion yourself. It just doesn't happen.
If anyone backstabbed anyone, it was Charlotte, because Charlotte ended up turning against her own best friend out of the sense of she's the champion, and then she started thinking she was high and mighty, and Ric Flair, boosting up her confidence, ended up turning into arrogance.
It happens. It happens. I've seen this time and time again. Probably since I was like 1 month old. It's just I was very knowledgeable at 1 month old, by the way.
Yes, you were, by the way.
Yeah, if from what I hear from reports I hear.
I do believe it.
So who am I to go against those reports? But anyways, Anyways, continue.
All I'm saying is this right here, okay? Is that how can you say that Charlotte betrayed Becky Lynch? At the end of the day, when you are a champion, the road up to champion is lonely. When you're a champion, it's a lonely road because you're the only one up there. So how could she betray her? She couldn't betray her. She was probably trying to help her out. She was extending her hand and saying, come on, Becky, I got you. And Becky probably slapped the hand that fed her and Charlotte just had to retaliate. That's what happened, Adamant.
Well, the road isn't really lonely for Charlotte. She has her father with her. And
Of course, he's the champion too.
It's like it just sounds like Becky, is just jealous of the genes that Charlotte has. I mean, it's like, it happens. It's just a phenomenon that happens, when parents have these gifts and they pass them on to their kids, and the saga continues. The greatness continues. In this case, the Flair saga continues.
Of course.
And Becky's just like, the closest she could get to it is kissing the lips of the great one. So
of course,
and she's probably thinking maybe some of that'll pass on to her. I don't know what she was thinking when she did that. When she tried to, take advantage of Ric Flair just being there.
I don't know what wrestling match Adamant was watching, but obviously
I was actually watching the match.
How are you watching the match? Where did Charlotte go wrong?
Yeah, he probably went on a popcorn. Is that when he went to get the popcorn?
I think that's when he went to. I think that's when he went to go get the popcorn, Adamant.
Yeah.
I won't take anything away from Charlotte. She's a great athlete, but she doesn't have to go around after winning the match and just like cheap shotting her opponent after she's defeated them.
Adamant, she is a champion. She can do whatever she wants to do.
Put her in the back of the line. Rebecca. Yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, I would suspend her.
Yeah, I would
suspend her for crossing the line, kissing Ric Flair. Get her out of there. Suspend her. At least a year suspension, so she can really think about this and clear her head. And whatever feeling she has towards Ric Flair, get over him. Make this age appropriate, please. And then just go work out. Do some CrossFit or something, and then come back and then they'll take a look at you again.
I agree 100% with Big Poppa. It's very inappropriate.
I disagree completely, but I just want to take time out actually to wish the best for Becky, because unfortunately she does have to wait in line and earn her spot again.
That was deserved. She had that coming.
Adamant, I don't know what to say about you.
Well, let's talk about the Rumble, guys. AJ Styles made his WWE debut.
Hold on. You're going to tell me that you're about to talk about the Royal Rumble and you're going to start with AJ Styles knowing that Triple H is the World Heavyweight Champion again?
Yes,
that the Authority won and the Authority took back what was rightfully theirs, the WWE title? Shouldn't we be talking about the great 14-time champion Triple H once again? And you're going to start with AJ Styles?
Why are we going to talk about Triple H, who probably didn't even get the luck of the draw at number 30? I mean, if we're going to talk about that, then let's go ahead and jump over to Roman Reigns. Now, Roman Reigns, he started the match first, and then, he took on all comers, and then out of nowhere, Mr. McMahon goes ahead, and, he sicks the League of Nations on Roman Reigns, basically takes him out halfway through the match, and then, he comes back, like the champion that he is, and fights for his title, and then Triple H from the end comes out at entry number 30. That doesn't sit well with me. That's a setup. There's no way.
I don't even, once again, how many runs did he have to go get popcorn? Because it seems like he missed that whole.
I think he did.
I think he just watched the replay of it or something.
I think so.
I mean, Roman Reigns came back because he has a heart of a warrior. What I think happened is he got chewed out. Somebody, either Stephanie or McMahon, hurt. Or so what the hell? Get your ass back in there.
There you go.
You punk. We're not paying you to just sit around back here and pretend you're injured and sick. I think he was forced to get out there and man up. And I'm sure he had a hard time walking out there and thinking, oh my God, I got to go back out there again. And McMahon just said, you know what, you better get out there and do your thing. I think he was forced. I don't think it was because of his heart.
And let's just get something straight
Plain
here.
and simple.
Number 30 just means it was the luck of the draw. We all know that, behind the scenes, they have the roller, they have all the balls.
I'm tired of hearing about that. It was rigged, it was set up.
Triple H pulled out number 30, and that was his rightful spot, and he just won, and he took advantage. He was just
nature, the world, the universe decided.
Exactly, number 30.
Number 30.
I took advantage. I mean, look at it. He took a mauling outside of the ring from guys who weren't even supposed to be in the match yet, let alone weren't even in the match at all. He got put through a table. The MTs had to come out and escort him, unfortunately. And then, but he came back. He came and started fighting everybody. And then, if you want to talk about someone getting screwed out of the Rumble, I mean, let's look at Lesnar. He came in, he took on the Wyatts, he threw the Wyatts out, and then Bray was the last one to come on in, and then the 3 of the 4 eliminated Wyatts come on in, and they have to eliminate Lesnar.
My friend, have you not studied history? It's power in numbers. This applies to war. This applies, countries, taking over countries, conquering countries, nations on nations. I mean, throughout history, numbers play a huge game. I really like Brock. I mean, I think he's a phenomenal monster. But even a phenomenal monster, if he gets attacked by a wolf pack or a hyena pack, you're going down. I mean, if you've seen an Animal Channel, the Animal Kingdom, you'll know. It doesn't matter how big, how mighty you are. If you get attacked by 10 hyenas, you're going down.
And here's the thing, Adam, man. I want to make something clear. Is that Roman Reigns got exactly what was coming to him because he hit Mr. McMahon. You don't put your hands on Mr. McMahon. How are you going to put your hands on the one man that's giving you the opportunity of a lifetime to showcase your skills in the middle of the ring? It's all WWE was there because of Mr. McMahon, and Roman Reigns disrespected Mr. McMahon in front of the ring, in front of thousands of people, in front of millions watching from home. He disrespected him. McMahon just had to show him a lesson.
That's what happens when you can't control your ego. That's what happens when you get too big-headed and you think you're bigger than the game. You think you're better than the industry. You think you're better. You think, what do you think this is? He thinks now it's his federation, his empire, his.
Yeah, is it RRW now? Is it RRE, Roman Reigns Entertainment, or what? We're not there, Adam, man.
I don't get it. I don't get what Reigns, what you're thinking. I really, I would suspend him too. Suspend him for at least maybe 1 or 2 years. Let him, spend all his money and see that he's not making the big bucks anywhere else. And I think Mr. McMahon has to crack the whip. He's really got to crack the whip. I think it's time.
I mean, if we go back to Monday Night Raw, where Roman Reigns ended up winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, he was against all odds at one point. Mr. McMahon threw everything at him, and then he overcame. And then going to the Rumble was just another against all odds situation. Even going into Rumble, Mr. McMahon threw him out at number 1 to test him once again. He made it all the way through, but then if Mr. McMahon had so much faith that Roman Reigns wasn't gonna win the Royal Rumble, how come he had to sick the League of Nations on him? And then how come out of nowhere, how come Triple H has to come in at number 30?
Adamant, have you not ever seen the wonderful movie? Say, for example, 300. They went up against all odds and they won. They won. They're great warriors. All Mr. McMahon was doing to Roman Reigns was testing him to see if he's a great warrior, to see if he can handle himself and run the WWE like the warrior that Mr. McMahon wants him to be. And Roman Reigns failed. The League of Nations was just a test for him. He brought him out just to test him.
It was a life test.
It was a life test.
And he flunked. He flunked.
Yes, Triple H was the final test. At number 30, McMahon said, okay, if you can get past my gladiator right here, then you deserve to be champion. And what did Roman Reigns do?
And I know he had that title ready. Like, if I have to give it up, I'll give it up. But you're right. You're so right. Man. All McMahon was saying is, okay, if you could be my big dog.
That's it.
My son-in-law.
Exactly.
Take his life, exactly. if you will, and you get the title.
Adam, man, have you not ever seen these type of movies, Adam, man? That's exactly what happened. And Roman Reigns failed. He failed. He couldn't get it done. And Triple H...
Suspend him.
And Triple H had to come in and do the dirty work, and now he's the champion.
Oh, it's time to give a lot of suspensions to Becky, to
Roman Reigns.
We just got to hand out a lot of suspensions.
Throw in the Usos in there, because they're bothering me with the New Day, too.
Usos, you're suspended, too.
Yes, suspend them, too.
Not The Rock.
The Rock is cool.
But The Rock is cool. But the Usos, they could get suspended, too.
It's clear that we have different views when it came down to the pay-per-view, guys, but
it's not different views, Adam, man. It's your weird views that we don't know what event you were watching, Adam, man. But it's obvious that the one that we were watching is the right event. I mean, we can understand.
He was looking at the Underdog channel.
I guess so. Something.
At the Underdog channel.
Big Poppa and I got the same message. We saw that it was clearly a McMahon test for Roman Reigns to be the champion. I mean, we were excited for Roman Reigns there for a while. We were like, wow, he's really going to give him the championship. But then Roman Reigns failed, and Triple H got it. And is it really Mr. McMahon's fault? Of course not. Roman Reigns just couldn't put up when it was time to put up.
All right. Well, guys, you heard what Big Poppa, Lavish, and I had to say, but what do you guys think? What was your opinion on the Rumble? How did you guys see it? That being said, we don't have a lot of time to really cover any more of this conversation, but however, just go on our website, themoxieempire.com, and follow us, subscribe, and everything on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Leave us your comments. Let us know what's going on. And, best believe that there is more to come with World Wrestling Perspective, in which we will continue on another episode one of these days, ready to go for another one. And that being said, Lavish, Big Poppa, do you guys have any last words, last comments you want to throw out there?
All I'm saying again is that I still I don't know what event you watched at, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and see what you were doing, because obviously you didn't see the event that I was watching.
All right, guys. Well, that being said, I'm your host, Adam the Ant. Special guests once again, Big Poppa and Lavish. This is us signing off.